Hi everyone, John Kozeski here with the Tallmadge Chamber of Commerce, your small business advocate. Normally about this time we'd be getting together for our monthly networking lunch, but since that isn't quite possible, instead the Chamber is going to focus on some distant socializing. So to help me with that today, I've invited our old friend Keith Lucas of Ameriprise Financial. Keith, how are you today?
Doing well, thanks. Thanks
Good,
for having
good. Well, first and foremost, the family is home and healthy, I hope?
me. Yeah, we're all doing well. The kids are home from school, so our nest is not as empty as it was a month ago. But my son goes to school in Manhattan, and my daughter goes to school in D.C. So we'd much rather have them here in Northeast Ohio with us. So,
Much better to have them at home, absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
So, for our viewers at home who aren't familiar with your work, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Ameriprise Financial is one of the nation's largest financial planning and wealth management firms. So that's what we do. We manage money and help people develop financial plans and implement them. So as you can imagine, with this COVID-19 pandemic, the markets have had quite the reaction. So we've been spending a lot of time holding hands and basically trying to help people make the right decision, um, you know, basically go through what the options are and essentially keeping people from hurting themselves at the worst possible time. So that's that's been our focus of late. As far as how business has changed for us, the main change is just how we're doing it. It's all phone, versus sitting across the desk from someone and having a meeting and walking through those options. We're doing it all over the telephone. It actually works fairly well, and I'm going to the office every day, which is helpful for me emotionally. Probably helpful for the house from a bandwidth standpoint as well, with both kids taking classes. So.
Well, Keith, obviously anything said here is unofficial, unsolicited advice. I feel like I should include that disclaimer when we talk about the market. But you mentioned helping people to avoid hurting themselves. I know when the market is the way that it is, a lot of knee-jerk reaction is to sell everything and get out. What would you say to that, and what's the best thing people at home could be doing right now?
I honestly think right now is a good opportunity for a couple, if you look at your goals and kind of outline what those actually are and revisit them. It's amazing how few people sit down and talk about retirement, talk about what they want to do for education, or if there's other goals, and basically make sure that you and your partner are on the same page. And it's a good opportunity to kind of determine that, because surprisingly, not everyone is, and sometimes you don't know that until it's very late in the process. So that once you know what your goals are and your time frame for those goals, you can then look at your portfolio from a different perspective. So if you have a retirement goal that's 15 years away, let's be honest, this market volatility really doesn't mean much to you, and you have the ability to ride through it. What I would suggest is once things do get closer to normal or improve, that would be a time to revisit your risk tolerance. That would be a time to determine whether or not you really are you're an aggressive investor. Maybe you're not. Maybe you thought you were, and that was too much, and it's time to pull back the reins. But I probably would wait to do that until after things have improved. It's just historically speaking, the market has a knee-jerk reaction to these types of events. That as information comes in, as people start to kind of digest that information, the market will behave more rationally. It can be very irrational in the short term, which we saw a couple weeks ago. It's starting to behave a little bit better now.
So you're telling me it's going to get better, right?
It always has. It always has. It's not unusual for the market to retest a low, so you have to kind of be aware of that. Bottoming is a process. So if our low was March 23rd, when it was around 18,200 on the Dow, it's not unheard of, or it's actually fairly common for the market to revisit that or look at it again before permanently moving higher. So something to kind of keep in mind, that it's not necessarily off to the races from here.
So be cautionary of the gains of the last few weeks. We may see some scary days ahead, but it will hopefully get better from there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Very good, very good. Well, Keith, last question. It sounds like you've been keeping awfully busy, and watching this market will certainly keep anybody busy. But regardless, we all have a little extra time on our hands. Are you fluent in Mandarin yet, or speaking sign language? What are you doing?
Well, ironically, about 6 months ago, I did buy a banjo, and I've been trying to teach myself how to play that, and so I'll spend a little bit of time each night kind of noodling on that, and it gives me the ability to clear my head a little bit, I guess, and it's fun. Can't say that I'm ready for a tour yet, but
I was just gonna say by this summer we'll see you at Blossom with Mumford and Sons.
right, right, yeah, that would be a little ways off, I think.
Well, I lied, Keith.
Try and stay in shape, but probably miss the gym more than anything, to be honest with you. So I'm at home doing my prison workouts.
Well, that was a great segue because I lied. I do have one more question. I noticed a framed basketball over your right shoulder with your name on it, and I feel like there has to be some kind of quick story to that.
It's actually my son's name. I had a brother-in-law who used to work for the Cavs as as one of their trainers. And when my son was born, that's something they did for the players' kids. So he had that made for my son when he was born. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I thought you for sure you were going to tell me you were
22 now, and he's never had possession of it. So.
I thought for sure you were going to tell me you were a Duke champion, and I just had no idea.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Keith Lucas of Ameriprise Financial, thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to learn more about Keith's business, or if you have any questions about your own investments, we do have Keith's information right here on the screen for you to reach out. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. My apologies to Garth Brooks. We will certainly get to you in our next interview. Stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, keep home, keep healthy, and keep shopping local.